Good morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Monday, 14th of December. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks. Bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 19,106 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 19,490. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high that was at 19,416. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 19,500 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 19,801 and resistance at 20 to cap any upside on the day. A fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 18,795 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 18,500 levels. Second major support level sits at 18,410. Looking at the MACDs, widening of the bearish histogram this morning following yesterday afternoon's bearish cross, supporting this early pullback. On the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 flatten on the 100 and the 200, supporting the early downside as well. So key through the early part of the morning will be to move back through the pivot and take a run at 19,400 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels are in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, it's a bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 538.25 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 602.71. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break through to 600 levels. However, so barring a broad-based crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, got the second major resistance level at 614.67 and resistance at 620 that could come into play. A fall through the pivot, and we've got the first major support level sitting at 571.29 that will come into play, barring an extended sell-off through the day. However, Ethereum should stay well clear of the second major support level sitting at 551.83. Looking at the MACDs, got a widening of the bearish histogram this morning following yesterday's late bearish cross, supporting this early pullback. On the EMAs, we're seeing the 50 hold its ground and the 100 narrow on the 200, however, suggestive of further upside ahead. So key through the early part of the morning would be to avoid a fall through the pivot and break back through yesterday's high 595.21 to then bring 600 levels and resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, bearish start to the morning as well. Need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 80.72 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 85.82. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high 84.34 and back through to 85 levels. So barring an extended rally through the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 89.43 and resistance at 90 to pin Litecoin back. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 77.11 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of the second major support level at 72.01 and the 38.2% fib at 71. Looking at the MACDs, got a widening of the bearish histogram after yesterday's late bearish cross, supporting this early pullback. On the EMAs, however, we did have a bullish cross of the 50 through the 200 late yesterday, and it's holding its ground, suggestive of some upside through the morning. So key through the early part of the day be to avoid a fall through the pivot and break back through to 84 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, another bearish start to the day. Going to need to Ripple's XRP move back through the pivot at 0.5090 to take a run at the 38.2% fib at 0.5285 and the first major resistance level at 0.5320. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from that 38.2% fib, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that 38.2% fib and first major resistance level at 0.5320 to limit any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 0.5508 to pin Ripple's XRP back. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 0.4901 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.45s. Second major support level sits at 0.4672. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bearish histogram after yesterday's late bearish cross, supporting this early pullback. On the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 pull back from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of some downside ahead. So failure to move through that pivot level and break through that 38.2% fib would bring sub 0.5s and support levels into play.